Well, good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. It is the last night before the deadline. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock Eastern, for Dak Prescott to get a long-term deal or play on the franchise tag. There's been so much talk about this for over a year and a half. It's crazy. It's crazy that the last day is when they finally hear, or finally we hear, that they're actually talking. Per Jane Slater, the last offer on the table was a 33 to 35 per year deal. 33 to 35. Clearly not the highest. Because Pat Mahomes owns that because of his 12-year deal that averages out to about $45 million. 33 to 35 with about $100 million guaranteed. Not bad. I'd take it. In a heartbeat. It's going to be interesting if that's the deal that Dak decides to take, or if the Cowboys sweeten it up a little bit between tonight and tomorrow. They got a little bit of time to work on it. At least they're talking, I guess. Somebody asked me, what do I feel is fair? Because this person was basically saying that, it's ridiculous how much quarterbacks get paid. It's out of market. They paid Kirk Cousins too much money and this, that, and the other. Hold on. Here's the thing. I said this before. You can take the same house and you can put it in Alabama and it might sell for $200,000. You put it in New York, it might sell for $2 million. Now, if you're in Alabama and you see that same house and you're like, I ain't going to pay that kind of money to have that house up in New York. Well, it may be, excuse me. Hold up. Choking on a bug here. Sorry. Choking on a bug here. It may be that you look at that and say, how is it that house is worth that much? I'm not going to pay for that. And you might not. But if you wanted to live in New York, you want to live into that area, you want your kids to go to school in that school zone, well, that's the going rate for the market. And it's what the market will bear. Whether we all think that quarterbacks make too much money and are given too much credit and too much blame doesn't matter. Because once the quarterback started making over $30 million a year, which is the going rate now. Now we know Tom Brady took 29 in Tampa at 43 years of age. But you got Matty Ice at 30. You got Jared Goff at 33. You got Kirk Cousins now at 33. You got Carson Wentz at 33 and a half. You got Aaron Rodgers at 33 and a half. You've got Big Ben at 34. You've got Russell Wilson at 35. You got Dak Prescott at 31.2. So technically, here's the way I would actually look at this. If you're Dak, if the offer is $33 million, why would you take 33? Because it's 31.2 right now. Next year, the tag would be 37 point something. So you're actually looking at 34.5 with the tag. So you're asking me to take less money than I would if I were tagged. You got to look at this and say, hey, you got to at least be as good as the tag. Because at least, I'm making the same as the tag with a little stability. I don't know where this goes. I don't think Dak Prescott will take 33. He might take 35 if it's 4 years, because that's what Dak wanted was 4 years. So that way he can get a little chance at the money down the road. Because after the 21 season, the television contract's going to be redone. And that's when this thing's going to explode. Teams are going to be able to count gambling money. You understand how much more money is going to be in the salary cap? The cap at $200 million right now, guys, I can guarantee you in 5 years it's going to double. I know it seems to be outrageous when you think about $35 million a year. That's not enough. It's not a matter of what is enough. It's what is the fair going rate. Because if the money doesn't go into the player's pocket, guess where it goes? The owners. Now, I think Jerry Jones just bought that 300-foot yacht. I think Jerry's got plenty of money. These players that are out there shortening their lives, messing up with the quality of life down the road, risking it, and being at the pinnacle of their profession. Understand, when you play high school football, about 2% of high school football players go on to play Division 1A football. Of that 2%, about 1/10 of 1% go on to the NFL. And of that 1/10 of 1%, the average life expectancy in the NFL is only but 3 years. You are doing something that very few people are able to do. The best of the best. That's what it is. So, I don't know if I should go to bed tonight. I got to work in the morning. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow. But I want to keep up on any news that's going to go on with this situation. And it's clearly going to be a long night and an early morning. And a rough day. Tell you what's cool. Told my wife this and she was like, okay. I had two friends of mine in school, Mike Birch and Mark Thompson. They were juniors when I was seniors. Okay? And they're a bit nerds. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't have a lot of friends. I really did not have a lot of friends. In fact, I had a hard time speaking in public. Seriously. Seriously. I had a hard time speaking in public. I heard from my friend Mark. Mike had actually given me his number and said, hey, he's been trying to get in touch with you. And I called him about a week ago and I hadn't heard back from him. And then he called me today. I didn't recognize the number, so I didn't actually answer it. And it's really cool because, you know, he wasn't one of the cool kids, just like me. I wasn't one of the cool kids. He was really smart. You know, some people would say he was a nerd. And it's amazing what he has done with his life. And I can't wait to talk to him. So, Mark, if you're actually watching this, wow. He's an F-15 pilot who now trains other F-15 pilots. It was just like, wow. And it's funny because you always have the cool kids in school. Everybody, oh man, I want to be with that clique, this clique, that, and all that. I tell you what, it's the ones that you don't think much about that are actually doing great things. So study. Get your education. Screw this whole thing, I got to be part of the in crowd. You find your way. You end up doing great things with your life. I wonder where all those cool kids are these days. Wonder what they're doing with their lives. Yeah. Who knows? All right, y'all. I think I'm going to leave the volume up on my phone, so if there's any notifications, it wakes me up. but I think I'm going to try and get me a little nap on. I see Emily Ann has sent me a link to something, so maybe this is some breaking news and I got to re-record this. But I'll see you guys later. Turn out the lights. This party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it the night. This party's over. And tomorrow will be the last day to get Dak's deal done.